My son Jesse is the laziest, most rotten, ungrateful, spoiled 14-year-old. Ramen noodles are all he eats, and apparently it's very challenging to get that little package of noodles out of the little plastic bag and into the pot of water, because I find those noodles everywhere. And the green dust. What is it? I don't know what it is, but it tastes really good. I just bought Jesse a $400 baseball bat, and he didn't say thank you. Dick. Great place for Jesse to shop. He was recently asked to the Greeley Middle School semi-formal dance, and he turned this girl down because she has more facial hair than him. So I'm really trying to bond with my child, and he watches a lot of sports on TV, so I'm watching sports with him, and it is so boring. But what I've noticed is there's some eye candy, so I started fantasizing about which players I would want to have as a husband. They could be my secret sports husband. And my football husband was Tom Brady. And things were going good. That ex-girlfriend and the baby, he made that all go away. It was great. And then he married Giselle. Tall, skinny bitch. I heard that when she was getting her milk in with her baby with Tom, that she grew a lot of facial hair. That's not even good enough for my 14-year-old. But Giselle and I, we tried to be good sister wives for Tom, but it turns out Giselle is a grabby sister wife. My conjugal nights were Thursdays, and she kept trying to switch with me, and forget it, sports polygamy is it's not my thing. So I'm in the market for a Red Sox relationship, and I've got my eye on Daisuke Matsuzaka. He's got a lot of money, and we can afford high-quality ramen. Maybe the green dust wouldn't be so dusty. But I don't think I could take his name. Danika Matsuzaka. So the new thing Desi likes to watch on TV is bass fishing. And the most fascinating thing about bass fishing, if you don't know this, is that they don't wear waders. They drive these enormous boats with enormous motors. And folks, size does matter, and those motors are just too big for me. I'm genetically predisposed for anxiety. And as a little girl, I'd lie in bed at night, freaking out. What if my sister took the Barbies out of the Barbie camper and messed up their matching swimsuits and heels? I can't deal. I couldn't deal. And then thankfully, as a teenager, I discovered pot, and I could self-medicate. But now I've got my own teenager at home. I can't be sneaking off to the garage to toke it up. So I'm doing the adult thing. I'm taking prescription meds. And they are wonderful. But they're getting too expensive. Maybe I should just do some bong hits with Jesse, eat some ramen, and watch some bass fishing together. So I live in Cumberland. In my neighborhood, everyone is running and cycling and going to the pool for swimming. And when I first moved into my house, my neighbors kept saying, did you sign up for the Try for the Cure yet? And did you sign up for the Try for the Y? What I really need is a try for the inner thigh. I don't know if there's something in the water in Cumberland these people can't really see, and you might not know this, but my boobs are really big. They're bigger than a D, but they don't fill a double D. I'm a D and a half. And for a swimmer, you'd think that would be great because I have my own personal flotation devices, and I'm very buoyant. And I was under the misconception introduction that I came from a family of great swimmers. My dad was on his college swim team, and I found this photo of my mom standing on the edge of a diving board at a resort hotel pool with her arms outstretched like this, as if she was ready to swan dive. And I recently asked her about it, and she said, "What, are you kidding me? As soon as your father took that picture, I turned around and walked right down that ladder and headed directly to the bar." I can't swim, but I can drink. Moving on to cycling in a triathlon. Cycling, is that just a fancy word for bike riding? I like that, you're riding a bike. Why are we saying cycling? Well, the last time I cycled, my bike was called Sugar and Spice. It had a sparkly flowered banana seat, and it had pink and purple sparkly tassels. And when I wore it, I was wearing my hip huggers, and I was wearing a bodysuit. For those of you who don't remember bodysuits, it's a leotard with snaps in the crotch. It's very comfortable. Let's just say that when I was riding this bike, it was not last year. And my ass was not that big either. And recently a friend tried to peer pressure me into cycling again. And she rented this bike for me with the extra gel cushioned seat, and she bought me these fancy cycling shorts with gel cushioning in them, and she got me on the bike. She said, "You're gonna be so comfortable." I was not comfortable. It hurt, my ass hurt, a lot. And I don't want a sore ass, that's for sure. And running, come on, remember, D&a-half? I mean, do you ever see women runners who are D&a-half? Except maybe Pamela Anderson on Baywatch. How did she run with those huge boobs? I don't know. But I will run if it's an emergency. If it's the last bowl of ramen. Or if Victoria's Secret is having a sale on D&a-halves. I went to my first sex toy party this year. The invitation was an email. It said something about like marriage enhancement workshop. I don't know, I had no idea what it was. And I emailed my friend. She was like, "You're so stupid, it's a sex toy party." So I show up, and who's there hosting? Her 86-year-old grandmother, Meme. And Meme sits right down next to me on the couch. And the first product we were shown is called Dickalicious. Heat it up, spread it on, lick it off. And you'll focus on the yummy flavor as his dick stays hard longer, and you won't think about gagging. So we're passing the tube of Dickalicious around to the party guests, and when it gets to me, Meme leans in and whispers, "The strawberry's really good on toast." The next product we were shown is called Secret Panties. Secret Panties are panties that there's a vibrator that fits in the crotch, but there's a remote to control it. So we're passing it around, and again, Meme, she leans in, says, "I keep the remote with my car keys. And when the nice young man bags my groceries and helps me out to the car, I hand him the remote." He thinks he's popping my trunk, but he's really popping my core.